Cecile Richards, thank you. Thank you for the invitation to take part in your campaign called I Have a Say. You asked us to explain in these videos about what birth control has done for us as women and to spread the truth via YouTube. So I'd like to do that right now. I can tell you from firsthand experience what birth control did for me. I was on the pill for almost the entire decade when I was in my 20s, and I call those my prodigal daughter years. I'd left the Catholic Church, decided I didn't really need God anymore, went full speed into pursuing my career. Nothing and no one was going to get in my way, including my first husband. And I just wanted to have fun with no consequences. In other words, no babies. What birth control did for me was it enabled and prolonged my promiscuous lifestyle. It caused a loss of self-respect as I felt used over and over again, and sometimes I was the one doing the using. It resulted in the end of my first marriage due to my pervasive selfishness. I made some rather, shall we say, unhealthy choices during that fun time I was having, choices that had permanent and negative consequences. And basically it brought about nothing but misery. Failed relationship after failed relationship. Until by the grace of God, I finally woke up and realized maybe I actually do need God in my life. So I came back. Rather, He took me back. Now, what I later learned regarding the truth about contraceptives, and I don't need to tell you this, Cecile, you know it full well, but a lot of other people don't. The truth about how the pill actually works is this. It thins out the lining of the woman's uterus so much that if conception does take place and that new little soul is created in the image and likeness of God, there's no way it can implant in the uterus and then grow and be born. It's too slippery in there. So that new life is aborted before the woman even knows she's pregnant. Same idea behind the so-called emergency contraceptives or the morning after pill, which you guys so readily dispense. Higher doses of what's in the pill to make absolutely certain that the baby has no chance. Now, I'm apparently a very fertile woman, or at least have been. My husband and I have 6 incredibly great living children and had 5 miscarriages. So the odds that I did conceive way back then in my 20s are probably pretty good, and I regret that terribly. Because I believe that, God willing, if and when I make it to heaven when I die, I'm going to meet those children that I killed due to my selfishness. And I'm going to have some serious apologizing to do. But so will you, Cecile. Only you're going to face millions of them. By the way, if you haven't read this book yet, Heaven is for Real, get it. Read it. It's proof that we will meet those children. It's also the most beautiful story I've ever read. So as a Catholic who now proudly stands with the Church and its magisterium 100%, I have this to say about contraception, birth control. It stands against everything God intended for that act of intimacy designed to bring children into this world. It promotes nothing but selfishness in relationships, and it turns sex into a recreational sport, sometimes with devastating consequences. Women and men who use it, like I used to, figure they should be able to do whatever they want with their bodies. They're not hurting anyone, but lo and behold, when the contraceptive fails, which often happens, and the woman discovers she's pregnant, that selfish attitude that has permeated her entire lifestyle leads to her kind of giving God the Heisman with thoughts like, no way, I'm not going to change poopy diapers, I'm not going to be up all night with a crying baby or wipe snotty noses or take city buses around town. I want my house, I want my car, I want my freedom. So hey, this is easy. I'll just head over to Planned Parenthood, take care of business, get this over with quickly so I can get on with my life. Only in most cases, she then goes on to spend decades regretting that hasty decision. And I have a lot of friends who will attest to that, and they tell me that the regret of knowing that they paid someone to rip apart their own child is far worse than any physical pain they've ever had. So birth control, not a good thing. It wasn't for me. Finally, Cecile, I have some words of advice for you personally. You may want to seriously reconsider being in charge of Planned Parenthood, because even though you are the boss here on earth, whether you know it or not, you are under the direction of a guy who is known as a murderer from the beginning. He also goes by the title of the father of lies. Yep, I'm actually talking about the devil. Let's see, he's a murderer. Abortion is legalized murder. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's okay. Father of lies? Well, anyone walking into one of your clinics is lied to over and over again. They're told it's not a baby yet. The procedure won't hurt. There will be no serious long-term emotional trauma afterward. Less than 3% of what we do here at Planned Parenthood is related to abortion. They were even told by you on camera that if Planned Parenthood is defunded, women will lose access to the mammograms we provide, when you knew very well that not one Planned Parenthood clinic in this country provides mammograms directly. You simply refer for them. Cecile, in having your say with these women, is Planned Parenthood standing with the truth? I don't think so. So do I stand with Planned Parenthood? No. I cannot stand with an organization that murders and lies. I stand with Jesus Christ. He is the way, the truth, and the author of all life. And Cecile, one of my greatest hopes and prayers is that you and I will meet in heaven one day, where we can laugh together at just how amazing it is that God took us both in, despite how we treated him while here on earth. God bless you, Cecile Richards. I'll be praying for you, and thanks for inviting me to have a say.